Welcome people to my review of Badass Jesus Simulator, the game that made me think that Doom 2016 was just a proof of concept, Doom Eternal. Look at all those difficulties. So the game starts with, you know what, just watch the intro.
Saw all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you. Rip and tear until it is done.
And you're plopped in a room with a bunch of zombies and a geek to tell you to have fun, and from the beginning you'll notice something. The game looks a lot more Arcadian looks in comparison to Doom. Not this one, that one. Which is actually a huge improvement over the other one, because you can see all your stats in one glimpse based on colors, and the enemies just look better. Like the Caco dude has pupils. Congratulations dude, you advanced from big blob with a ball sack to a big blob with a ball sack and a pupil. And they kinda dropped that skull with no eyes design that I felt was sorta boring, for giving nearly all the demons eyes. Like look at this glory kill on Hell Knight, you can actually see him questioning his life decisions in this frame. Which gets me to the glory kills, and they're very awesome. Just take a look. The addition of the arm blade is quite creative, and the weird thing about it is that it's not usable in gameplay and only appears in glory kills. It's still a creative boost for the developers, though. By the way, my favorite glory kill is this one. So Doom Eternal has a lot of the old demons and some new ones, and the old ones are the usual. You have your Caco dudes, Mancubi, Hell Knights, you know, the ones that appear in nearly every game. Then you have the ones from Doom 2, like the Pain Elemental, Archnitron and the like. Then the new stuff which I'll go into detail for, like Whiplash, one of the biggest pieces of shit in this game. Visually great, but gameplay wise he's a bit of a snake. Thank you. He has whips as indicated by his name. What I don't get is his ranged attack, that has a hitbox of a truck even though it's a line. He can bob and weave between shotgun shots and generally he's supposed to be the pressure boy. Then you got the Doom Hunter, which had a whole trailer for him. Why? I don't know. He appears relatively a lot in the game, and the game's tip on beating him can go fuck itself, cause you're actually supposed to focus the sled and leave the shield. The Dread Knight is nice, but that's it for him. What I want to talk about is the Marauder that was shown in the story trailer. The Marauder is the enemy that made the internet go mad because he makes you parry. I like enemies that make me think differently, and with this dude, his deal is that he's an ex-sentinel turned demon, and he has a vendetta with Doom Dude, and he fights more like a human than a demon. You get too close, he uses a shotgun, you get too far, he throws his axe. You have to be in the middle to parry him. And a tip, combo him after the parry, cause he's staggered and honestly he might be my favorite new demon, or top two. It's between him and the Dread Knight. But he has a small little problem. He sometimes gets stuck on terrain which makes him automatically throw his axe at you, which does pretty good damage. Another thing people seem to be split about is the ammo system. Unlike Doom 2016, you can actually run out of ammo and you don't have a handgun with infinite ammo, so you'll have to use the chainsaw to get ammo. This is why fights have lots of fodder. I get why people don't like this, even though I disagree with them. They don't like it because they consider it a pace killer. More like they don't like it because they can't adapt, am I right fellas? But I think it's a pretty good choice, cause first, that gives a reason for the chainsaw other than shamelessly killing a Baron of Hell in one hit, and second, cause the point of having things like health that doesn't regenerate is to run around battle, carrying one of your limbs to look for health, and it's exciting. Same thing here. I only had problems with this twice in the game, but they're endgame stuff so I'm not gonna talk about them. The chainsaw has other changes, like the fact that you can't kill a demon like the Baron of Hell with a chainsaw, cause honestly it's just laughable for the Baron of Hell to enter the battle like a BFD and then get killed in one hit. The other thing is that you can only have 3 charges or canisters or whatever, which I can't say that I like, cause of this. Fodder enemies like the imp, the soldier, zombies, gargoyles and the like take 1 can, sweet, and the rest take 3. What? So the game tells me that a bitch ass prowler is the same danger as a fucking Dread Knight. What? I obviously don't like that decision. But the chainsaw is not a gun, so I'll let it slide. It's not like there's an enemy in the game that can't be killed by BFG. Am I right fellas? Which brings me to the guns. The guns are some of the best feeling guns I've seen in the game. They feel powerful except for the plasma rifle, that I always feel like it doesn't pack a punch in any game. Each gun has 2 alternative fire modes that you can change mid-fights, and they all feel useful in a situation, and they all can be upgraded to be better and to get a mastery challenge, which has always been the bane of my existence. In Honey, I killed the demons. But now any challenge you don't like can be passed with a token collectible. Yay! And to drive home the fact that this game is more arcadey than Doom 2016, the guns aren't lying on the ground realistically, but they're floating like Vice City. This game has an actual story this time, oh thank god, and it fits Doom pretty well, cause it's just there, it doesn't really do anything important except the Slayer's backstory and getting you to pretty gorgeous locations. So don't get scared, we're not talking more about it. Except for one thing, I love the way they lean on the Slayer being the ultimate badass.
It's him. They've overrun the lower levels. Corporate says we should let them through.
What? Why?
The game has a pretty right system, is that what the kids say? Is that what I say? And it's the weakness system. With the introduction of any enemy that has a weakness, the game tells you about it. But for a system like this, the game needs dangerous moves to force you to disable them. And oh boy are they dangerous. The best example are the mancubus cannons that have a flamethrower that could shred you in seconds. And another thing, damage appears on enemies, and some of them look minor in comparison to others. But the others, like the Baron of Hell, well, just look. This game is like Josuke's mom. Unlike Martian Psycho, a game that takes place in mostly orange or red locations, Doom Eternal takes you to a variety of locales, and just the skyboxes could get me in tears. Just look. But sadly, unless you want to see skyboxes, you'll be too busy killing the mortally challenged to have time to see the skyboxes. The music is superb. Mick Gordon did a pretty good job doing this awesome soundtrack. Even the sound effects are good. The sound of blood, heads exploding and arms getting ripped feel very fatal. The game has collectibles, lots of them, and the thing about me is that I'm not the biggest fan of collectibles, but if you'll tell me about dolls of demons, then you bet your ass I'll catch them all. You have the dolls and you have music from other id games, and my favorite, the cheat codes. Do you want to play the whole game with a berserk power-up? Sure you do, here you go you sick fuck. It's nice, cause I felt like the power-ups were a bit scarce in this game. I think I only used berserk like twice in the game, but using berserk all the time is boring, cause enemies have one death animation. You have alternative suits too. What more do you want? Well, I know what I want. I want this. And you can find them in the Fortress of Doom. Ooh. Where you can listen to music, get skins and practice. So this concludes my Doom Eternal review. This game is great. It's one of the best games I played in recent memory. It's so great in fact that I think no Doom game should be made after for at least many years. Cause this feels like what I like to call the Doom cycle. You make a game that is good, and then you make a better game that outperforms the other game in every way, while Doom 64 is always present, and then you make a disappointing third game that goes off the rails in comparison to the rest of the series, and I hope that doesn't happen. So if you like the video, and goodbye.